Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We appreciate you guys, man. It's been a little bit of a slow month so far. Some things happening in the background, always things that we're working on. You guys know me. Try to be out here giving it to you real, raw, and authentic. So for those of you guys who have been here before, we appreciate you. For those that are new to the channel, hit that subscribe. Smash the like button. What do you got to lose? It only helps build the algorithm, put some eyeballs on our page, and I think these are some of the most important things for growth, obviously. But our message has always been very straightforward, and we're always keeping it real, raw, and authentic. So we do appreciate you. We appreciate all of you. We appreciate the ones that are here, the ones who just showed up. We cannot begin to tell you how much it means to us. So thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. On today's episode, I wanted to talk to you guys about why having the right tools matter more than you think. And I don't think this is a topic that gets discussed enough. By the way, my name's Greg Michelman, for those of you guys who don't know. I feel like it's super important. Sometimes I come on here and I kind of fly off the cuff a lot, but on this one I kind of wanted to speak directly to you, right? We're not talking about the employees. We're not talking about the customers. We're not talking about the suppliers. I want to speak directly to you, the owner of the business, the owner of your life, the owner of whoever is watching this, right? I know a lot of times we tend to lay awake at night wondering how they're going to grow a company, right? How are you going to go about growing your company? It's a thought that I've had many times. We're always trying to scramble. We're always making changes. We always trying to take on larger projects and trying to figure out how to do it. And we're always trying to build something our families can be proud of, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's how we show up. It's really means the world to me, I know, to bring home that positive energy and showing my family the growth, and then being able to enjoy all the things that come with growth at the same time. And part of growth is management, right? It's managing customers, it's managing equipment, it's managing schedules, it's managing problems. And if this is you, today's message is definitely 100% for you. So hopefully you don't scroll past this video and you watch to the end. Because one of the biggest lessons I've ever learned throughout my career is this. The right tools don't just make the job easier, they make growth possible. And what are the tools that I'm talking about? I mean, they could be physical tools, but also the guys inside of your organization, your team, are also a great tool for growth, right? You need everybody locked in. You need everybody involved in what is going on. And you need everybody to grow and take the company to where it is that you want it to go. Most people do think that tools are expenses, right? They think that you go out, you have to spend money. And it is true. It is a money spend, but it is uncanny how much these things change our businesses and change our careers. Successful companies understand their investments, right? So when you think of some of these bigger companies, you understand that them investing is not because they just want to waste money. It's because that's how you grow. And there's a huge difference between the two. You see, when companies begin to grow, they often focus on what they can see. More leads, more customers, more trucks, more employees, more revenue, right? All these things fit under the same header, or however you want to say it. But growth has a funny way of exposing weaknesses. It really does. The bigger the job gets, the more those weaknesses become visible. I've seen this happen to me so many freaking times, man. It's like you think you have your finger on the pulse, your hand on the pulse, and then things just kind of fall apart. And then the bigger it gets, it starts to become more glaring, right? So they're one of the greatest ways to find out potentially where you are and where you're heading. It's just something I always think about, man. You know, it really does hinder the growth of a company. So having everybody locked in, getting everybody on the same page, really affects eliminating as many weaknesses as you see growing inside your companies. Specifically, having the right tools when they need them. Now, that may sound like a small issue to you, but let me tell you something. Small business, small issues, they come with a very expensive price tag. Picture this. You have 10 people on a job site. Maybe 15, maybe 20, doesn't make a difference. Everyone is getting paid. Everyone is on the clock. Everyone's ready to work. Then someone discovers a critical tool wasn't brought to the site. Now, for us, that's happened before. We have chain hoists, we have different things to lift the burners up, right? And if you don't come correct with those things, you're dealing with a lot of manpower, and a lot of times that manpower is so awkward you can't even control it. So you think about the amount of downtime that gets created in between. It gets wild, man. And the truth is, everybody just sits around waiting now. When people are waiting, that's just lost revenue, right? A truck has to leave now. You lose a parking spot, especially in the city. Someone has to drive across town to go pick the thing up. Traffic happens. The supplier doesn't have the thing that you need. Time keeps passing. Meanwhile, the crew is standing around. Your customer is watching. A lot of us have cameras in the room. They can see what's happening or not happening. The schedule's falling apart. Everything seems to start slipping through the cracks minute by minute. And most owners never calculate the true cost of these delays, right? How often do you sit there and realize, man, that's just a lot of wasted time right there? You're not really thinking about it in the moment, because the reality is you're trying to get the thing done. And I've been a victim of it, right? But then lately, as I take a look back at our business, you have to see all these little items that kind of fall through the cracks. This is how in reality, we're just trying to make things a little bit more streamlined and ease of use, right? At the end of the day, that's what it's all about to me. But the real cost at the end of the day, though, when you think about it, isn't the tool. It's the downtime, right? We've been talking about downtime and loss of productivity. It's the missed opportunities because now we can't be in other places doing it. And it's the reputation damage, right? A lot of the businesses are built on our reputations, our ability to grow, and our ability to handle the jobs at hand. We try to be very thorough at our business and making sure the guys have everything they need. Now, that doesn't always come to fruition, but we also understand, especially in New York City, the difficulties that come with, just lost time in not having not having the tools, not having the products, not having the things that we need. So these are things that I am experienced in talking to you about. And I've seen other companies lose thousands of dollars because of it, now that I go back and analyze the situations. And in reality, what happens is you're always trying to save a little bit, and then you end up costing you a lot in the end. So that's not really being efficient when you really think about it. It's kind of handling things, and it ends up being way more expensive. And unfortunately, it happens every single day. I remember being on projects where everyone had the skill, right? You have tons of skill on the job. You have all the mind that you need. Everyone has hours and hours and hours, hundreds of thousands of hours of experience. And everybody wants to succeed for the most part. But the project still struggled. Not because the people failed, but because preparation failed, right? At the end of the day, when the tools aren't there, the products aren't there, the things you need aren't there, and things weren't ready, the planning obviously wasn't complete. And when preparation fails, execution 1000% suffers. And this is such a hot topic, like for me, right? Not like, again, going back to talking to business owners, it's our responsibility to make sure that everything is where it needs to be and that everybody's on a level playing field and everybody's playing on the same team, right? There's so many levels to this. Like, even though like the header of this is talking about tools, if reality sets in, you understand this is a broad topic across your entire company and how it operates. Now, after so many years, this is some that I've learned around the job sites. The job never goes exactly as planned. You guys watching this know, if you've been in service, if you've been in plumbing, if you've been in installations, it doesn't matter. No matter what you do, the job never works out exactly how you plan it, right? If you spend enough time in the field, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Something changes, something breaks, something arrives differently, some condition exists that nobody expected, which for us happens all the time. The way that the job is drawn out is not exactly what it is when you walk inside the door. And the schedule changed, the weather changed. I mean, we could literally go down the list of how many different things change. I mean, even down to the access to each building that we're going to, right? I could set things up the night before, and then you get to the job the next day, and now a super is not available to get us in the building, right? So adaptation is really important, how we kind of go about adapting to certain situations. That's why preparation isn't about expecting perfection. It's about expecting surprises, right? At this point in my business, I have to understand that surprises are going to happen. So at GMAK, we understand that. There's no other way around it. We've dealt with it so much. We know that every job site has unknowns. We know every project has challenges. We know things happen. That's why we don't simply bring what we think we'll need. We bring what experience tells us we may need. So I always think outside the box. I don't care. I'd rather have 20 things I don't need instead of having the one thing that I do need not be at the job. So experience teaches you patterns. Experience teaches you where jobs tend to go sideways. Experience teaches you what can go wrong and a lot of times does go wrong. And when you've seen enough projects, you start preparing differently. It's just the way it is, man. I know you guys are watching this. If you're business owners, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly how to show up. You know exactly what you're going to need within reason. What do we need to ensure success is the question you really need to be asking yourself. Those are two completely different mindsets. They create completely different outcomes. Let's talk about safety for a moment, because this is another area where tools matter more than people realize. And if you're not taking your safety seriously at this point, I don't really know exactly what to tell you. This video is not going to teach you much about that. At the end of the day, thinking safe, thinking smart is something you should be doing anyway. So when the workers don't have the proper tools, they often start improvising, right? We start setting up shoddy setups, setting up ladders in ways that could hurt people. They just try, and again, there are situations that for me, I've definitely gone in and just made it work. Like sometimes you just have to make it happen, and in the end, it all pans out, right? But thinking ahead, right? Again, thinking ahead. This is everything for us. We're doing big machinery, big equipment. So when you're not paying attention to those things, that's when injuries happen, right? That's when property gets damaged. That's when people get hurt. The wrong tool creates risk. The right tool creates confidence. I want you to write that down if you can. The right tool creates confidence. It really does. It makes you realize you can get the job done. A prepared crew works safer. A prepared crew works faster. A prepared crew works smarter. Works smarter, not harder. And when you're trying to build a company that lasts for decades, safety can be an afterthought. It truly can. You're just rushing. You're trying to build, you're trying to grow, you're trying to do all these things. But safety. And that's, again, another area where tools come in, right? Now let's talk about something most owners don't discuss. Reputation. Because reputation isn't built during the easy jobs. It's built during the difficult ones. Anyone can look good when everything goes according to plan, right? When everything's working perfectly and the job's singing and all the guys are in line and everybody's working together, it's seamless. But what happens when things start to fall apart, right? What happens when things don't go exactly to plan? And I think that that's the type of thing that separates the really good companies from the ones that don't last, right? Is how you navigate through rough waters and through rough seas. We don't see panic. We don't blame anybody. We work together as a team. We don't make excuses. We just chug ahead. We forge ahead. We see problems, but we solve those problems, right? We don't sit. So you have to ask yourself, are you a problem solver? Or when the problems show up, are you somebody that folds under pressure? Customers remember professionals. You have to remember that. Customers remember companies that show up unprepared or prepared. Depends on how you show up, right? So I'm always conscious of how I'm showing up to these jobs. And not only that, in communication with my guys and my team and the customer and letting everybody know what's up, because it keeps everybody's frame of mind nice and clear. We train for readiness, man. We invest in readiness. We plan for readiness, because readiness creates consistency, and consistency creates trust. Trust creates referrals. Trust creates repeat customers. Trust creates growth. The owner watching this right now needs to understand something. Growth isn't just about getting more work, because we can all get work. Growth is about being capable of handling more work. Can you handle the workload that's coming in? Those two things are 100% not the same thing. Anyone can sell a big project. Not everyone can execute one. So when you're looking at yourself, are you executing on your plans? Are you able to get the jobs done that you need to? The companies that survive long term are the companies that can do both. You have to be flexible. You have to be like, you have to be able to sway with the wind. You're not going to break under pressure. And that all starts with preparation. It starts with the systems. It starts with the training. It starts with equipment. It starts with having the right tools available before the problems appear. Because once the problem arrives, it's already too late to prepare. And prep, so just goes to show you how important preparation is, and preparing beforehand, how it's going to change how you operate. Success happens after that, right? In order to get the success, you have to have the preparation. That's a lesson every growing company eventually learns. The smart ones learn it early. You gotta learn early. At GMAK, we've built our reputation around being prepared. Hear what I'm saying, man? Prepared, be prepared. Not because it's easy, not because it costs less, but because it's the right thing to do. Our customers depend on us, and your customers depend on you. The schedules depend on us. Their operations depend on us. Their projects depend on us. Everything under the sun is dependent on us and our ability to make the proper decisions. And we take that responsibility seriously. That's why we show up ready. That's why we think ahead. That's why we invest in the equipment, resources, and tools needed to get the job done right. It's not because we expect problems, because we respect the reality that the problems bring. They're gonna happen, man. No matter what you do, they're gonna happen. You cannot avoid it. The question is, how are you gonna operate and navigate through it? And when they do happen, we want to be the company that's ready, as should you. So let me leave you with one final question. If your biggest opportunity showed up tomorrow, would your company be ready? Would you or your people be ready? These are very interesting questions. Would your systems be ready? Would your equipment be ready? Would your tools be ready? Thought-provoking, right? Opportunity rarely gives advance notice, guys. It rarely gives advance notice. And when it does, preparation determines who succeeds. Are you prepared? How many times have you heard me say preparation in this video? That's why having the right tools matter more than most people realize. They're not just tools, they're confidence, their efficiency, their safety, their professionalism. They really are. And their preparation. There it is again, man. Preparation. And preparation is one of the greatest competitive advantages a company can have. I experienced this on multiple occasions, many, many times. And at GMAK, we believe that being prepared isn't an option. It's a responsibility. We have a responsibility to our team. We have a responsibility to our customers. And we have a responsibility to each other. And also at the top of that list is I have a responsibility to you, the person who's watching this, the person who I'm creating this message for. Because at the end of the day, all I do to come on here is try to teach you guys a little bit and just share with you experiences I have, right? Because that's the most important thing. If I can help you fast track your growth, then I'm doing my job right. So I appreciate you guys, man, watching to the end. This is a little bit longer than I normally do. But again, always these topics are important to us and something that we put a lot of thought and energy into, and things that we think can help you in your business, in your growth, and whatever it is that you're doing with your life. So thank you guys so much. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, man. Smash that like button. It really helps us. If you want to leave a comment down below, I answer all the comments myself. Let's get the conversation rolling. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. I hope you have an amazing day. Keep crushing it. Peace.